Hello and welcome to the Advocacy Life blog and podcast network. I am your host, Mr. Kevin Nunez. I am thrilled you chose to spend a few minutes with me. I am the host of the Purposely Broken World. This program is designed to raise more questions than answers. Did you know that 1 in 4 Americans are diagnosed with some form of developmental disability? That makes me your new disability buddy. I created this program to make you think, laugh, love about society, culture, and faith. Things that all interact with each other on an everyday basis. If you want a fresh take on life, then enjoy the ride and see you soon. Hi friends, welcome back to the Purposely Broken World. I once again am your host, Mr. Kevin Nunez. Thank you for choosing to spend a little bit more time with me. This episode we're going to talk about the why. Why you do anything in life. Why you love, why you hate. Why you get up in the morning. Why you get angry. Why you get happy. Just the why of life, because we have to understand why we do stuff in life, right? It's our lives. We have to understand why we do it, why we live it. I have my water, I have my phone, I have my remote control, and I'm ready to start a new podcast. Here is a fun secret, folks. Always pee before you start a podcast. I wonder if Joe Rogan's ever said that in any of his podcast. Pee before you start your podcast, because there's nothing worse than once you're all set up, having to get up to pee, especially when you're in a wheelchair and it takes a while to set all this up for you. That being said, let's get on to the why of life. For reference, you guys are seeing this on May 1st, 2024, or listening to this on May 1st, 2024. I am recording this on April 27th, 2024. So, I want to start this episode with what the kids call a story time. At least, I know I mentioned in the last episode I was a part of the Disability Policy Seminar, and I represented the wonderful state of New Jersey. Yes, the Garden State. I love Jersey. My favorite band is Bon Jovi. Like, I am a Jersey boy through and through. Bruce Springsteen, the whole nine yards. Yes, I'm Puerto Rican, and yes, I'm Puerto Rican that loves Bon Jovi. I'm a Puerto Rican that loves Bruce Springsteen. Get over it. I also love Bad Bunny, but just saying. So I was in DC, and my dad put on his Facebook when he saw one of my pictures when I think I was by the Washington Monument. I don't always understand why he does the things he does. Even I get lost sometimes in all the stuff he does. But seeing that face makes it worth it. I'm paraphrasing that. It's not an exact quote. I'm not gonna pull up my dad's Facebook. But you get the idea. DC was my happy place. It was my Disneyland. I could not be more happier. But when he said that even my own father sometimes gets lost in my why of why I do things, it makes me think, how often do people get lost in their own why or why they do stuff? I think they just get comfortable in the routine, so they just go along with the routine. So I'm going to explain to you my why. When I was in the DC for the seminar, one of the events was meeting your legislators. You have to go meet legislators. And I met with Andy Kim's office, who with his office to discuss disability issues. That's the point. So I'm there with my very small contingent of people. One was a very nice mother of a child with autism. The other one was another mother of with another child who had more complex medical needs and such. They didn't bring their children, they came as mothers. I was the only adult uh, with a disability with my two adult caregivers, or, you know, direct support professionals, whatever term you use. I try to use them interchangeably for, for formality's sake, because every state calls them something differently. Paraprofessionals, personal care attendant, you get the idea. So I'm there with the small group. I'm the only person with a disability. We met with, of course, his chief of staff, because, of course, Mr. Kim was not available. So he asked us who wants to go first, and one of my colleagues said, "Well, Kevin has to go first. He's the rock star." Hey, friends! Really quickly, I'm so sorry for interrupting the podcast, but I need to tell you how to support the Advocacy Life blog and podcast network. Yes, I have a few contributors, but basically it's just Jesus and I doing this thing together. So any donations will be greatly appreciated. You can do PayPal, Cash App, both linked in the bio. I published a book, Confessions from Disability Limbo, linked in the bio as well. Or finally, there is a paid newsletter, $5 a month, for those who want an extra bonus blog every Sunday. One last thing you can do is you can support the podcast directly through a link on the podcast itself, and just leave a donation on the podcast itself if you just want to listen to the podcast. That's all I got. All links in the bio. Either way, thanks for your time. This is just value for value. If you like what I do, if you value what I do, then leave me a couple of dollars. If not, there's no obligation whatsoever. Thank you so much for your time. And now back to the show. I'm not saying that as like false humility. I'm just not a rockstar by any means. No person who's a disability advocate, unless they have a secret that I don't know. I've never met one that's wealthy or has any real fame. It's not like the Beatles. It's not like being a rock star. It's not like Bon Jovi, where they have girls throwing themselves at you. So it's not that. It's not fame, because the only person that's ever been recognized as any kind of disability advocate or activist is probably Judy Heumann, and it's only because she died recently. So unless you're Judy Heumann, and only because she died, nobody knows any real disability advocates. Outside of the disability world. It's not fame, it's not fortune. Is it being recognized for your accolades? No, because all you do is literally for someone else. So it's not for recognition. It's not fame. It's not sex. It's not women. Is it like a calling? I didn't think so. But I've learned over time this was my calling. This was what I was meant to do. This was my why. When I first started advocacy back in 2007, for reference, I was out of high school. I was doing a volunteer year of high school where I volunteered I had graduated with all credits. I just had to do an extra year to figure out what I wanted to do, basically. It was kind of like my, gap year, but I used my gap year to stay in high school to figure out what I wanted to do because I wanted to spend more time with the special ed population of my school because I never really got to know them because I was in mainstream classes all day long. So I wanted to spend time with the special ed students because they never got out. So I wanted to spend time with them and see what that side of the world was like. And even then, that was different because I was the only one in the wheelchair. So, throwing that little tidbit out there. The point is, I didn't know advocating for other people was a thing. My teacher gave me the application for partners in policy making. It is a leadership course. I will send you the link for the New Jersey chapter in the show notes. I think most states have them. Just look up your states. But it is a leadership training course, roughly for 8 or 9 weeks, 9 weekends, 1 weekend a month. For 8 or 9 weeks. I loved it because it was both parents and individuals, and we had to see each other's perspectives and learn from each other's experiences, which is something most people don't get to do. I remember the first thing I did after the first day of class was call my mom and my dad and say thank you for all your sacrifices, because I didn't realize it until after, when you hear from another mother's point of view, because it's your mom, so you don't you listen to your mom, but you don't really listen to your mom. So when I got to hear it from someone else's point of view, who was another mother or another father, there was only one father in my class, which is amazing because fathers are just as capable of raising a disabled child as a mother is. But there was only one disabled parent father in the class. Anyway, the point is, I did this class on a whim, and I remember I didn't even fill out the application right the first time. I kind of just did it. I half-assed it. So my teacher literally sat with me and made me do it again because it was I basically BS my way through it. So I filled out the application again. I was a young buck giving up on the world. So I filled it out, put it in the mail. I didn't think of it ever again. I get a call saying that I was accepted into the program. And literally whirlwind, and now I'm on 2 boards, one state board and one national board, advocating for other people. I do what I do simply because I want to leave something for another person one day. I don't know how else to say it. I want to help someone in the future. I may never see the change I want to see. I may never see marriage equality in my generation, but I'm hoping that the groundwork I lay will help someone 10, 15 years, 20 years down the way get married legally. I want individuals with disabilities to be able to have access to home and community-based services so they don't have to be locked away in an institution. They can stay where they choose to stay where they have the supports to live and to play and to experience life to the best of their ability in their chosen community setting. They can have a choice. Even if they're nonverbal, they can still make a choice or have someone in their life make an informed choice for them. But nowadays, people are not given a choice. Oh, we don't have this for you, we don't have that for you. So you're 32, you go in an institution, you go in a nursing home because we have nowhere else to put you. And then when they all died during COVID, we acted all shocked. So yeah, I want to fix those things. I want to be able to I want someone 10, 20, 15 years from now to be able to get a job that they love doing and still have the necessary health benefits to have access to the equipment and services they need to live their life. They shouldn't be afraid to get a job because they need to stay in a $50,000 wheelchair. Because they can't afford a $50,000 wheelchair every 5 years. Those are the things I want to change. Those are my top 3. I fight for those that can't fight for themselves. Yes, I was the lucky one to sit at the table. I was God's chosen tool. God bless God. God bless Jesus. And all the angels that got me there. Even when I didn't believe in myself. When I tell you that night, and I'm not a crier, folks. I'm not a crier by any means. I'm not. Like, if you know me, I'm one of those old school, like, suck it up, kid, don't cry people. That night, when I actually saw, like, the culmination of all I did in the last 17, 20 years, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. But at the same time, I felt so lifted and free. There was no, I don't know how else to explain it. I want to share this moment with you. You know when you go to Washington, D.C., there's all the monuments. You have the Washington Monument. You have the Lincoln Memorial, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Well, there's only one memorial I wanted to see. And that was the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial. It's not a big memorial. It's simply him in his wheelchair. It's the one nobody goes to because it's not flashy. It's not shiny. It's simply our old president, our former president, sitting in his wheelchair. People don't know this, but the last 2 terms of his life, because he served 4 terms, he fought the war from a wheelchair because of his polio. So literally, his physical weakness shined his mental, spiritual, emotional strength to save us from tyranny, heartache, and God knows what would happen to us if, evil would have won. But he was chosen to do something greater. And I don't think people imagined that he would go down as, one of America's best presidents. Am I biased? Yeah, a little bit. Would I love to be the president? Yes, I would. But is it going to happen? Probably not. But anyway, that's off the point. My point is, sometimes our weaknesses reveal our strengths. Don't give up, folks. Keep fighting. Find your why. Whenever you think you can do it, if you shut up and listen, God will reveal why. But the problem is we don't always shut up and listen. I know that because I do that. Sometimes God has to knock your ass backwards so you can shut up and listen. Maybe I said something. Maybe I said nothing at all. Maybe this was a gigantic ramble for you all. Maybe it was something really cool. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. I will see you guys on May 15th. Be well. God bless. Wow, that was a really fun episode. Hope you guys come back. If you want to support once again, all you gotta do, Cash App, PayPal, or the link in the description in the bio. They're all there. Just click. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Thread, all that good stuff. All those links are in the bio. I will post on there regularly. Podcast episodes come out twice a month on the 1st and 15th. And the blogs come out every Wednesday, give or take. See you soon. Thanks for the support. And bye.